My name is Goldman, and I'm an attorney with Goldman and Associates. And today we want to continue our discussion regarding mother's rights. Now, when we say mother's rights, let's not confuse that with women's rights in a divorce, because mother's rights attach irrespective of a marriage. So today I want to talk about mother's rights as it relates to a non-marital union, specifically about the children to that union. You know, when you're married, the law presumes sort of an equal footing for mom and dad with respect to the custody of the children. There's a presumption of the joint sharing nature of this arrangement, but in a non-marital union that yields a child, the presumption in the law is that the mom is going to get the favorable custody treatment. When you talk about mom's rights, you're talking about the fact that if you have a child, the law is going to presume that the custody of that child is going to go to you. It changes things because you might think, well, gee, I had a child, I got to run to court to protect my custody rights. Well, the irony is, if you're not married, you don't have to do the run. The father's the one who's going to have to run to court to try and perfect whatever rights he wants to have, because the law presumes you to be the custodial parent. So this is a very important right, because sometimes what happens is two people have a child, then the relationship breaks apart. Sometimes the relationship breaks up during the pregnancy before the delivery. And so the child is born into the world with a relationship that's already broken up. So all he's got is mom. In that scenario, you have to realize that you have the presumption of custody in that relationship. If you are pursued by the father, if you're sued by the father for custody rights, obviously you have to defend them. And generally speaking, in our experience, even situations where the relationship breaks apart, the mothers are usually inviting of the father to have some level of involvement with his child. I mean, that's usually not a problem. But sometimes the reason for the breakup is the reason why it is a problem. Because sometimes, let's say, you have a child with someone you break up because they're a criminal, they're a drug addict, they're a bad influence on you, so you break up with them. You certainly don't want your child around that. It's usually, ironically, and oftentimes in those situations where that's the father who's going to take you to court to enforce his rights. And you're obviously going to be very concerned about exposing your child to any danger. If you're in that scenario, or you have some general questions regarding mother's rights, circle back to us, and of course we'll be glad to help you out.